Now to the South-South. A Rivers State High Court has declared the defection of members of the House of Assembly to the All Progressives Congress null and void. The court sitting in Port Harcourt gave judgment in the suit, which was seeking to declare the lawmakers' seats vacant. We have more in this report.
The claimants, Hyacinth Amadi and 3 others, approached the court to challenge the eligibility of Martin Ameohile and 26 other lawmakers as members of the House of Assembly. It is just one of the cases that have come before the judiciary relating to the lawmakers' controversial defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. The court in its judgment held that the lawmakers are still members of the PDP after the claimants failed to provide proof as required by law of the defendants' membership of the APC. The presiding judge, Justice Okobule Basam, faulted the absence of the APC membership register showing the names of the lawmakers and their membership cards, amongst others. He added that public statements and media publications do not serve as proof of defection.
For declaratory reliefs, it's not about what I admit or what other person has admitted to. It is about you proving your case. You don't rely on the weakness of the defendant's case. You must, by the operation of law, prove the case on its merit. You must show that, in fact, that the persons you are alleging to have defected has in fact defected. It's not about what goes on the internet, what you watch on TV, what you read up on the pages of newspaper. That is not where defection takes place. If you need to say that somebody has defected and has also become a member of another political party, you must show hard evidence of membership register of one such person belonging to another political party.
The judgment of the State High Court comes as a relief to Martin Ameohile, whose position as Speaker of the House was threatened by the emergence of a faction.
The court clearly stated that Right Honorable Martin Chike Ameohile remains the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, as well as other members are quiet and remain members of the State House of Assembly, and their laws, the laws that are passed, are legitimate, and the state government is bound to obey the laws passed by these honorable members. That's exactly what the court said this morning.
The court in its judgment also held that there was no proof that the lawmakers are no longer members of the PDP through resignation, death, expulsion, or procurement of another party's membership.
Meanwhile, the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Rivers State, Dagogo Iboroma, has described as false reports of the court declaring Martin Ameohile and 26 others members of the PDP and of the House of Assembly. While reacting to the judgment, he said that the suit in question did not seek to declare the seats of the lawmakers vacant. Rather, he said the suit was struck out for lack of local standi and jurisdiction, and also for being an abuse of court process.
Section 2723 of the Constitution of Federal Government as amended, it is only the Federal High Court that can determine whether Martin Ameohile and 26 others are still members of the People's Democratic Party and also members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. This much was held by the trial court. However, you will recall that there is a subsisting order of interlocutory injunction in suit number PHC 1512 CS of the year 2024, restraining Martin Ameohile and his co-travelers from further parading or presenting themselves as lawmakers in Rivers State, pending the determination of the substantive suit, which has not been appealed against. That suit is still pending.
For more updates, the National Legal Advisor of the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, Henry Akine, joins me on the news. Thank you for joining us on TVC News at 7. Well, what's the import of this judgment? Thank you for having me. Yes, please. What's the import of this judgment on the political situation in the Rivers State Assembly? Which team now is a legitimate assembly?
Well, thank you. I think the issue about the legitimacy of a member of any legislative house is a question of law and then a question of the Constitution. And, of course, the finding of courts. So X-raying all of these with the issues that have become notorious in Rivers State since the 11th of December 2023, then I think that what will hold strongly is the provision of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, nothing more pretentious. I understand and agree with respect to the various decisions of courts, some of concurrent jurisdiction, and then, of course, some conflicting. But before we would even say whether any decision of court is conflicting with another, I think we will have to examine precisely what the questions were put before that court to answer. The questions of law before the court are not like discussions we may have on the streets or in community halls on a customary arbitration. The judges are constrained to answer the questions that are presented before the court, and then the way they account, and then the prayers of the party. So I am not, unfortunately, in this instance, I do not have the privilege or opportunity to have seen the processes that were filed in this particular matter, and even the judgment, except the reports that have come out since in the morning. With the report by the Honorable Attorney General in his press conference, SAN, Iboroma Dagogo, I hold a strong position of law with worry that if a court, and this is an extant position of law, if a court is not seized with jurisdiction to entertain any matter, then the court cannot also have the power to make any decision or declaration or order howsoever. So I am yet to actually get which of the facts that is quite correct, but let us assume that both factions, both narratives are correct. But take the one from the Honorable Attorney General in his press conference. If it was that the court lacked jurisdiction, then the court will also lack the jurisdiction to make any declaration or any order up to the extent of holding that a certain individual or individuals remain members of a political party, let alone to hold that they remain members of the University House of Assembly. But let's also take the other side, assuming without conceding that that was the position of the court. Then I would worry again. Where then lies the provision of Section 109, subsection 1, paragraph G of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and then the schedules to that Constitution where every authority, including the courts and the judges, have sworn to protect, uphold, and preserve those provisions of the Constitution. Those are the critical issues that I think have been on in Rivers State since 11th December 2023. But let's make another very fundamental point here.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Let's make another very fundamental point
Quickly
here.
land on that, please.
Yes, let me land on. It is a different thing to go through a procedure to become a member of an association from ceasing to be a member of an association. I'll make a quick illustration. I'm a member of the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, having branches across the country. When I became a member, I went through a procedure of obtaining the form, of subscribing to be a member and having my name in the register of members from my unit onto the National Secretariat in the Rights House in Lagos. But if I decide today to cease to be a member, I wouldn't have to go through that route. I simply will make a declaration that I no longer am a member of the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights.
All right, Mr. Ekine,
association, including political parties.
I hear you. I was wondering what the next step is, but I'm afraid, we no longer have time on our side. So I must sincerely appreciate you for talking to us. At least you've spoken about, the legal angle to all of this, and we'll just see how it turns out from now. National Legal Advisor, Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, Henry Ekine, thank you for talking to us on the news at 7.
Thank you for having me.